So we're going to look at detecting signs of stress in cats. Animals are capable of experiencing emotions that are very similar to people. So it's really important to have an understanding of their emotional state, and because this will allow you to better understand if there is a problem and if the problem is getting any better. So firstly, we need to look at the body language of a cat, as this gives us a good indication of their emotional state. So a good sign of tension is a sign of their pupil. If the size of their pupil is fairly narrow, then they're fairly relaxed and happy. If the size of their pupil is particularly dilated, then they can be quite tense. If it is the size of a saucer, then this is a really good indication that they're really quite frightened of something, and we should really ideally stay clear of them. When they're particularly stressed, their body will be tense and in a crouched position. Their ears will be flat against their head, and they have very dilated pupils as well. They may also hiss and spit. So when they're showing this particular body language, ideally what we need to do is just leave them alone and leave them to go and hide if they want to. So it's quite hard to tell if cats are stressed, so it's important to read the signs quite carefully. They may well go and hide and be a recluse, so it's important to understand this and just to try and leave them alone. General signs will include being jumpy, so just literally jumping to general sort of movement and sounds. They'll also have excessive grooming as well, so there'll be sore patches and bald patches as well. They'll have a lack of activity, so they will not want to do anything. They won't want to interact with yourself either. And also there will be hiding, as I said before, and a wariness of going into open spaces. They won't necessarily want to, and they might be fighting at the food bowl as well. Medical signs may well include also vomiting, diarrhea, urinary tract problems, soiling in the house, sore or itchy skin, or even patchy fur as well. We need to now look at ensuring their happiness and trying to prevent this stress. So the basic needs for cats are space, access to resources, opportunities to perform their natural behaviour, privacy and choice as to where they can eat. So if we look at those briefly in more detail, looking at space, heights are very important for cats, and different heights as well, so that they have access to those particular places so that they can look at their environment from a safe distance and just survey their own territory. So ideally tops of cupboards, wardrobes, such like, put some nice bedding up there so they're nice and comfortable. But also cats like to change to different areas as well, because that's due to their instinct of trying to get away from parasites such as fleas. So if you see one cat going from different place to the next, it's not because they don't like it, they're just moving because of their instinct to get away from the parasites. So access to resources is the next point to mention. Basically try to give the cats lots of areas for them to be able to feed, and lots of water stations as well. They also like fountains for them to be able to drink from, and that could be one of the cat fountains that can be sold online, and it has running water all the time, and it has a filter in it as well, because sometimes cats don't actually like tap water, and that filters that out, so they prefer to drink from that. So that's access to resources, opportunities to perform natural behaviours. It's important that they're giving scratching posts in the relevant areas where they're most likely to scratch. So at the corners of the sofas, at the corners of their core territories as well, that's most important. So near cat flaps, near front doors, such like. Privacy is important to make sure, particularly if they're indoor cats, to make sure that other cats from outside can't see in, and obviously create stress in that aspect. So you can put sort of spray etching like you get in bathrooms so that the other cats can't look inside. And choice as well. It's important for them to have the need to have alternative places to eat, rest, play and go to the toilet. So ideally, if you've got 2 cats, you should have 3 litter trays. It's the mantra of 1 litter tray plus 1. So if you've got 9 cats, that will be 10 litter trays, unfortunately. But it does give them the choice to be able to poo and pee where they want to, and without any other cats guarding those important resources. I hope that all of those particular information and points you can take on board, and obviously just help to prevent your cat from being too stressed.